because of you that I'm President Kamala Harris is Vice President. And by the way, she's not only a great Vice President, she could be President of the United States.
President Harris, that's what's on everyone's mind tonight. Not. Joining me now, Dr. Ben Carson, former HUD Secretary in the Trump White House, famed pediatric neurosurgeon. Dr. Carson, great to see you. Well, they're trying. God bless them. Bless their hearts. Kamala could be president, which I think is terrifying.
Well, it is terrifying because she has not really earned it. She was put there because he said he's going to have a black woman. This is really the wrong way to run our country. And, you know, if you got on an airplane, would you want a pilot who was checking the boxes or a pilot who was an excellent pilot or a physician? So why would we do that with a president or a vice president? We've got to wake up. Now, I recognize that there have been some racial problems in the past, but we also have to recognize that we've made enormous progress without DEI. You know, from the time that I was born, from the time I was a little boy, went down south and saw the colored and white signs, to today when we have black admirals and generals and CEOs of Fortune 500 companies and heads of foundations and university presidents. We've had a black president of the United States. To say that we aren't naturally making a tremendous amount of problem is being an ostrich.
Nikki Haley is speaking tonight at the convention. It's considered a very big moment. She was the most probably vociferous critic next to Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger. But I think it's so important that her voice is heard, and I understand she's going to give a terrific endorsement, full-throated, of Donald Trump.
It's so important that Republicans, and not just Republicans, but people of goodwill and people who think logically, learn to put little differences aside. There are those who will not vote for somebody because they don't like them. Does that make any sense at all?
Well, he's an enemy of democracy. None of them obviously believe that because their thoughts and prayers all weekend long for Donald Trump, for the enemy of democracy. How does that make sense?
Exactly. Well, if you were sick and you had a disease that required a good surgeon, would you rather have the surgeon with poor bedside manner who saves everybody or the one who speaks sweet words and kills everybody?
How important is it for President Trump to continue to campaign in those traditionally blue or even liberal areas in urban America that's been left behind? How important?
I think it's critical. And I think it shows that he believes that a rising tide floats all boats. He doesn't pick and choose people. He wants to be the president of everybody. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for us to turn the page.
Dr. Carson, always great to see you. Give my best to Candy.
I will.
All right. Thanks so much.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.